Welcome everybody to the Basics Workshop. I am super excited to have you guys here. I am streaming this live in my Facebook group. So if you're listening to this on the podcast and you are not in the Facebook group, please go to the description below. You can add yourself into the Free and Fearless Entrepreneur. If you are watching this on Instagram, hello, thank you for watching. I do appreciate each and every single one of you. I am going to go through the material that I have to teach you guys today. And if you guys have questions, I will answer it at the end. I will also be doing a live Q&A either Saturday or Monday. I haven't decided which day, where I'm going to go through and I'm going to answer any questions you guys have through this training. But I am here to really break down how simple it is to make an impact and income online. I think that we tend to I know that we tend to overcomplicate all things social media and all things selling online. And I really, really want to break that down for you. So congratulations on being here for day one. And I asked you, and I talked about this yesterday in a post, and I talked about it in a live video where I was saying that there is knowledge and there is so much that you can gain. Hello, wild child. There is so much that you can gain from free trainings. However, you have to commit yourself. You have to commit to being here for the next 3 days or watching the replay whenever you have a chance to watch the replay. And because here's the thing is, like, most people do not commit and most people do not take action from free trainings. But I know that you are different than that, and that you are going to take and apply everything that I am teaching you. Or maybe it's not everything. Maybe you just need one thing that I'm going to teach you over the next 3 days, and you're going to take that and you're going to apply it to your business, and you're going to create some more momentum. And yes, at the end of this, I am going to be offering you a chance to work with me over the next 6 months. That'll be on Friday, so we're not going to worry about that now. I'm just going to be open and honest and upfront about that. I'm going to give you all I can give you for the next 3 days, but if you decide that you want to take this to the next level, there is going to be an option for that. But what I suggest is that you grab a journal, a notebook, and you take some notes and you take some action. The best way to retain information is to take action immediately. So one of the things that I always do, and I always suggest that my clients do, is that when you hear something and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so good, write it down. Even if you have to grab your phone, write out in the note section of your phone, and then take action on it the next available time that you have to take action, but immediately, because that is the way that you are going to retain it, and that is the way that you're gonna have that stick. And I'm going to be leaving these videos up. They're going to be up on the podcast, or the audio is going to be up on the podcast. They're going to be up on Instagram, IGTV. They're going to be in the Facebook group. So you can go back to these at any time. I tend to go back to trainings over and over again because I get something new from them every time that I do that. So I look forward to you being committed over the next 3 days. And I look forward to hearing what your biggest takeaways are. So every single day I'm going to ask you at the end of the training, like, tell me what your biggest takeaway is. And I would love to hear from you what that is. This doesn't mean that you have to apply everything. Like I said, come back to it later. These won't be taken down. So I'm going to talk a lot about transitioning out of network marketing. However, I want you to know that this information can be applied. I hope that Instagram doesn't keep going black because that will suck. But this information can be applied to any online business, whether it be a product, a service. Maybe you are a business that's not online yet, right? Like, I feel like this year we're seeing a lot more businesses come online because of everything that's going on in the world. And you're like, I need to bring my business online, but I don't know how. I'm going to break down the basics for you over the next 3 days. So a little bit about my story and how I got started in online business is, so I never finished college. I was a girl who didn't know what she wanted to do. I didn't like structure. I wanted freedom in my life. I have 122 college credits and I have no degree. I went and worked for a family business where we were like one of the first people to have be an online retailer, right? We sold automobile accessories and stuff, and I was one of the top salespeople. That was still when you were using phones also, not just online. And then when the economy crashed, that business went down, and I decided to, it's not going black out, video, audio keeps freezing. Okay, I apologize for that. I'm going to keep going though, because I am live in multiple spots, and it will catch up. Okay. So when the market crashed and that business went under, I actually bought the online business from my dad, and I was selling dash mats online. Yes, dash mats, like for your car, right? And right around that time is when I found network marketing, and this was in party plan days where you were going to do parties, and I did I started network marketing in 2008. And I was really good at it. I will tell you that right now. Like, I was selling makeup and skincare, and I was selling $10,000 to $20,000 a month of that. And it was great and it was fun. I didn't have a family at home. Like, I had my husband, but we weren't married. I didn't have any kids, anything like that. And so I was able to work all of these extra hours and it not be a thing. And when I got pregnant with my son, I decided that I didn't want to be handing my son off to my husband, going to all of these parties. And I kind of quit that business, and I swore that I would never do network marketing ever again. Fast forward a year after I had my son, and I found Beachbody. I found a network marketing company that I saw somebody that was in my last company who she was running her entire business on social media. And I was like, what? You were running your entire business on social media? Like, this is amazing. I am spending so much time on Facebook already, just because, like, I wasn't really good at being a stay-at-home mom. Let's just say that. So I was on Facebook trying to find something that would give me something, right? And I'm like, if I could just make money for being on Facebook, that would be amazing. And so I signed up to be a coach in October of 2011, and I was a coach for up until 2019. At the beginning, social media was great, you guys. Like, you could put a post up, you'd be like, who wants to join my online business? And people would be like, I want to join, I want to join. They'd be like, I want to join, I want to join, I want to join. And like, I actually came across a post that I did where it was like a call to action post for one of my fitness boot camps. And there was like 20 people on there that said they wanted information. And I'm like, wow, that does not happen anymore. That's not the way that social media, attraction marketing, making an impact online works anymore. It's not as simple as that. And it has grown and it has evolved. And honestly, I think it's a really good thing, because it's not just, it takes a little bit more work, and it really builds more sustainability than it did back in the day. And so at the beginning of my network marketing journey online, it was great. I was rocking, I was rolling. I grew a team from 0 to 350 people. And then it kind of started to slow down, and I kind of looked up to the upline leaders asking what I should do. How do I grow my business? And they all said to send out 50 invites a day. So I started doing that. I started sending quote unquote 50 invites a day, which FYI are cold messages. And I started to get burned out, and I started to see my income crash, and I started to feel frustrated, and I started to feel like I was banging my head against the wall. At the same time, I was going through some major life changes. If you guys have followed my journey, I was addicted to Adderall for a couple years, and I decided to get clean. And in that process, my business started to crumble. I started to build my business back up, but I still wasn't seeing the success and the momentum as I was before. And I would openly share about my addiction to Adderall. And come to find out, my network marketing company really didn't like the fact that I was sharing this journey so openly, and they kind of gave me a slap on my hand. And I had spent so much time and energy building that business, and when I got a slap on the hand about sharing my journey, it was a really big eye-opener. I was working 8 to 10 hours a day, sending these messages, trying to grow my team, trying to help people that didn't want to help themselves, and I wasn't seeing any financial return on it. And it had been 8 years since I was in that company. And that was the moment that I realized that I no longer was aligned with what they were teaching. And I didn't want to continue to grow a business if it could just be pulled out from underneath me. And that was the moment that I realized that even though network marketing is building it, like, I don't want to trigger anybody or make anybody feel some sort of way. I still think that is a great thing. It gave me the foundation that I needed. However, I realized that it technically wasn't my business that I was building. It was somebody else's, and it could be easily taken away, just like I could be fired from a job. And I didn't want that anymore. I wanted to decide when I was going to launch things. I wanted to decide what I was launching. I wanted to decide who I wanted to work with. I wanted, like, every single thing I wanted control over. And so in October 2019, I decided to launch Ashley Beeman Coaching, and it has been an amazing ride. I have worked half of what I was working before, and I've helped way more people and made way more money. And I'm not here to say like, oh, look at me, I made this much money. I just want to show you what's possible. And to be honest with you, I am still a Beachbody coach. I just don't grow the business. I still make an income from what I did before. And for the first part of my own business, I actually, it was still growing Beachbody. So it is possible to grow a business, to have multiple streams of income. And I think honestly that it's important to have multiple streams of income. And a lot of people that I actually see on Instagram, I know already have multiple streams of income. And so that is a great thing. So how did I go from sending all these cold messages, working so many hours a day to not? This is exactly how I did it. So first of all, we need to create the foundation of your business, okay? There is no right or wrong way to build a business. So if something that I share with you, you're like, that doesn't feel right, then that's okay. Let it go. There is what works for me may not work for you. What works for somebody else may work for you. What works for you may not work for me. However, I do believe that there is a foundation of your business that we do need to get right before we get started. I want to say right. We just need to get clear on before we get started. So strategy is important. And while it is not everything, and I'm going to be teaching you guys some strategy, especially tomorrow. We're going to be talking about social media tomorrow. It's not, it's not everything. What did I do? Oh, hold on 1 second. What is everything in your business, right? Like, what is that one thing that is going to be everything for you? And it's energy. Energy is everything in business. Your energy, your belief, your passion will always beat out strategy 100% of the time. Energy will beat the algorithm 100% of the time. The way that you feel about what you have to offer, the belief that you have behind what you have to offer, the passion you have behind that is going to attract the people that you want to attract into your business. So the first journal prompt that I have for you, and I will be typing these up and I will be putting them in the Facebook community. If you're not in there, make sure you get in there, is how do you want to make people feel when they come across your social media platforms? Like, I want you to write down words. How do you want them to feel when they come across your platforms? Do you want them to feel empowered? Do you want them to feel energized? Do you want them to feel powerful, confident, strong, calm, peaceful? What are those feelings that you want to invoke on people when they come across your social media platforms? I want you to get very clear on that, because when you can get clear on that, then you know what kind of energy that you need to create on a daily basis to show up. And instead of sending 8 million messages every single day, you can be focused on protecting your energy, cultivating that energy, showing up in that energy, sharing that energy out into the world, because that's what you're going to attract back to you. So think about this. How do you want people to feel when they come across you? How do you want people to feel when they receive coaching from you, or when they buy something from you, or when they get into one of your programs, or they get into one of your groups? How do you want them to feel? You know, when they attend a free training like this, how do you want them to feel? I want you to feel empowered. I want you to feel excited. I want you to feel passionate. I want you to feel powerful. I want you to feel confident in the fact that you can take whatever it is that you want to take and build this online business with this energy. So figure out what that energy is. And of course, that's allowed to grow, that's allowed to evolve, that's allowed to change from time to time. But it's important to be aware of the way that you want people to feel when they come across your platform. Number 2 is, who do you want to help? Who do you want to help? If you're speaking to everybody, you are speaking to nobody. I'm sure that you've heard this before, and I'm sure that this triggers you. I'm sure that you're like, Ashley, I don't want to do this. I've heard people say this before. I do not want to narrow down who I am talking to. And sister, I have been there. I have been there before. And actually, last year, I went through this, I call 2020 my wandering phase, where I was kind of like wandering around, not really certain what I wanted to do or who I wanted to help. And it was necessary. So if you feel like you're wandering right now, just know that the clarity will come. Don't give up, keep going, keep wondering, but ask yourself these questions. I would ask myself these questions on a daily basis. Who is it that I am helping? Who is it that I'm helping? And, what are they into? What do they struggle with? What do they want? What do they desire in their life? Like, what are their goals? What are their desires? What are they trying to manifest into their life? Get super specific on this. Yes, I know that you do not want to miss out on anybody joining your programs, but I promise you won't. And let me give you an example of this. I am currently signed up to work with a coach for an entire year. This is really annoying that I have to keep tapping on Instagram for it to not go black. So I'm not sure. I'm going to have to figure out what the deal is with that, so I don't have to do this tomorrow. Keep tapping on it. Does number 2 apply when you're doing customized creative art? Yes, absolutely. It applies to anybody. Who are you speaking to when you are showing up on social media? Like, who is it that you want to sell to? Who is going to be attracted to your art? Because when you can get specific on that and you can speak to that one person, you're going to speak to so many more people. And so, for example, I myself signed up with a coach. I signed up to work with her for an entire year, and I absolutely freaking love her. She is a business stripper coach. She is a stripper who became an online business coach who coaches strippers. Guess what I am not? Guess what I am not? I am not a stripper. I have never been a stripper. I'm very fascinated by it, but I'm not one, and I have never been one, and I'm not going to be one. However, I signed up with her to work for her a whole year. Her niche is strippers. I'm not a stripper. I still signed up with her for an entire year. So do not be afraid to get specific on who the person is that you are talking to, who the person is that you want to help. Because trust me, the right people are going to be attracted to you anyways. It doesn't matter. You can say the wrong thing to the right person and they're going to sign up with you. You can say the right thing to the wrong person and they're not going to sign up with you. There are billions of people on social media. In fact, I heard there's I forgot how many billion are on Instagram alone, but there are billions of people. So there's enough to go around. But when you can, when you get those, we're going to talk about this more tomorrow, but when you have people comment on your stuff and they're like, oh my God, you're in my head. Or have you ever commented on somebody else's post and you're like, they're in my head. And the reason that that you feel like they're in your head and they are like reading your mind is because they're talking to that one specific person. So who are they? What do they struggle with? What do they want? What do they desire? What are they looking for in your art, for instance? Like what is that they are wanting from your art? Okay, so the third thing is what do you help people do? What do you help people do, right? This is niching down. And you guys, like I said before, I didn't want to niche down because I didn't want to lose people. However, it is so much easier to show up online when you are niched down. Let me tell you that. When you know who you're talking to, when you are niched down, when you are speaking to that one person, it becomes so much easier and you don't have to overthink things. You don't have to decide things. And I will say this too. It takes time to evolve. So don't allow this to hold you back. It's okay to be shitty at first. It took me a whole year to narrow down who my person was. All right. And in reality, even longer. And it's okay if that changes, and it's okay if it grows. It's okay if it evolves. Just pick something and go with it and allow it to grow, allow it to evolve. It's okay. And the other thing that I want to say is, even if you are niched down, even if you are talking about that one specific thing, that one specific problem, that one person that you were trying to reach, you're still allowed to show up on social media and share whatever the F you want to share. Let me say that again. I'm giving you permission that even if you are niched down, you are allowed to show up and share whatever it is that you want to share. That's just going to attract more of your people to you. Okay? So what do you help people do? What sets you apart? What do you specialize in? This will grow and evolve as you do. Allow that to happen. Mine has changed, and as I grow, it gets narrower and narrower and narrower. So I want you to come up with, so this is the last thing I'm gonna have you guys do, is I want you to come up with, wait, is it working? Kind of a mission statement or a statement, like an elevator pitch or like a 2-second or a sentence of what it is that you actually do. So for example, when I first started Ashley Beeman Coaching last year, my mission statement or my little statement of how I introduce myself is I help women unlock their confidence so that they can love their bodies, their bank accounts, and their businesses. That's what I use like all of the first part of me growing my business. It slowly evolved to I help women entrepreneurs unlock their confidence by healing their relationships with themselves so that they can make a massive impact and income online. And then it evolved just recently, like this month, into exactly what I want to do and what I want to help women with is I guide network marketers to create multiple streams of income by helping them launch their own offers. So this is what I want you guys to do. And I want you to do this today. Stop overthinking it. Just write it down. You can allow it to grow and evolve and change and whatever. But I want you to do this tonight. I want you to say, okay, this is who you are. This is who you help. This is what you help them to do and what it's going to do for them. Does that make sense? I will type this out. It will be in the Facebook group. If you are not already in the Facebook group, make sure you get in the Facebook group. So what do you do? Who do you help? What do you help them do? And what is that going to do for them? I help network marketers create multiple streams of income by launching their own offers. So I cannot, if you already have one, drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear what it is that you do. So those are the 3 things that I want you guys to do tonight. And then tomorrow, we are going to touch on social media. Where should we show up? How should we show up? All of the good stuff, right? All of the good stuff that we want, because social media is awesome, you guys. I know that right now we may not feel like it's awesome. I know right now, please ask your question. I know right now we might feel like it is a horrible place, but you make it what you want it to be. And it is a really, really great place to run a business online. You guys, like I have created so much freedom in my day-to-day life that I only have to work 2 or 3, I'll say 3 or 4 hours a day at max. Because I'm able to maximize social media and use it in a productive way. So tomorrow we're going to talk about that. If you have a question, please post it below and I will answer them for you. Done number 1, and number 2, need help on number 3. Okay, are you in my Facebook community? I will ask you that right now, because if you're not, I highly suggest getting in there, because I'm going to type it all out so you can see it and I will post it in there. So number 3 is what you do. Who do you help? What do you help them do? Like, who are you? Who are you helping? What do you help them do? And like, what is like their end result? Okay. And this will take some time. Like, you allow it to flow, brain dump, get out your journal and let it go. I'm going to stop the recording for the podcast right now. No, I just want to stop recording.